All right, Kyle. What's going on, buddy? We got a lot of grievances that need airing today.
We do. Luckily, we have so much good news going on with this thing that I'm not as mad. But UFC 262, man, couldn't have gone any fucking worse for us.
Yeah. The only thing that kept me out of a major depression is winning $1,500 on the horses.
That and Willie Z came in huge for us.
Yeah.
And so did Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler came in very big for us.
Yes.
I was so much fun to root against Ricky.
We ended up only losing 5 units. It could have been a lot worse.
Yes.
But let's just talk about UFC 262 first. I was able to watch all the fights. I was off. It was awesome. Started off with Christos Giagos, Sean Soriano. Went just as we thought.
We started off real hot.
Soriano's ground game sucks. He got subbed right away. Second round, easy win for Giagos. Like you said, great start. I thought we were going to have one of those nights. Second fight, Kevin Aguilar looked actually a little bit better than he did in his previous fight, but it still wasn't enough to beat Tucker Lutz, who didn't look all that impressive to me.
No.
Wasn't impressed with either guy. Then we have Gina Mazzani. She can't take a punch, Scott.
Nope, she sure can't.
She cannot take a punch.
She sure can't. Priscilla Cachoeira wasn't looking that great until she killed her.
Well,
she looked...
right. She can't wrestle. And Gina Mazzani is a good wrestler until she's tired or until she gets hit. Yeah. And Cachoeira hit her a couple times, and Gina Mazzani turned her back. Like,
crumbled.
Forgot all her training, turned away.
Yeah.
Not even James Krause could save Gina in that one.
Nope.
This is another fight. Andrea Lee Shevchenko that I'm a little bummed we didn't take Andrea Lee. I've been thinking about her all week.
Yeah.
She was the stronger girl, and I think that's the big difference between Antonina and her sister.
Yep.
Is physicality.
Weaker.
And Andrea Lee with the cowboy hat in Texas. Big time sub.
Yep. Buzzer beater sub, too.
Jamie Pickett, Jordan Wright. This is going to sound weird because Jamie Pickett got steamrolled. But with that said, when they were standing for the 2 seconds of the fight, they were actually standing. Jamie Pickett looked like the guy to pick.
Right.
He then went for a takedown. Not a bad idea.
Right.
But he let Jordan Wright just elbow him in the side of the head a million times instead of, oh, maybe I should abandon this takedown.
Instead of not doing
elbowed.
That, yeah.
Yeah. He let himself get rocked. He ended up getting rocked by one of the elbows while he was attempting a takedown, and then Jordan Wright finished him. It was more of a ring IQ thing than anything else. I'm still not impressed with Jordan Wright.
Nope.
That's a fight that we'll get a line to go our way next time for Jordan Wright. So
yeah,
excited about that. And here's the big one, Scotty.
The biggest grievance of the night. Another Daniel Cormier judge slaying performance.
Okay. I have a little rant here.
Go for it.
Lando Venata, Mike Grundy. The announcers from the start, all they're saying, Venata, Venata, Venata. Not hearing shit about Grundy. Meanwhile, Grundy is attempting takedowns. Yes, he's not getting them all. He got a couple of them.
Got 3 of them.
He is constantly pushing forward, constantly attempting takedowns. With these takedowns, he is neutralizing Lando Venata's striking. We all know Lando Venata is a great striker, right? He's using offensive takedowns to neutralize the best part of Lando Venata's game. And the only little strikes Lando Venata was landing was little jabs, little strikes. He was doing no damage to Grundy. He was not hurting him.
I'm with you.
Meanwhile, Grundy, while he's attempting all these takedowns, is landing. When he does land, they're bombs. He's landing bombs that are snapping Lando Venata's head back. And we're not, the announcers were not speaking of it.
Not a
Every
word.
little every time Lando's head would get snapped back, and he'd throw a little jab that would barely touch Grundy, and they'd be like, "The good jab by Venata on that."
Yeah. Strong jab game.
Yeah. And so everybody talking want to show the stats of the fight, right? And if you look at the stats, Venata outlanded Grundy, right?
Yeah.
But with what?
Right.
He barely touched him. If you want to look at the stats, sure, you could say Venata won. If you want to watch
I'm looking at him right now.
If you want to watch the fight, Mike Grundy won.
Right. 83 total strikes for Venata to 34 for Grundy. So if you just look at that, I mean, if you count all those little patty cake jabs that Venata was throwing, yeah. If you look at it on paper and they're just checking the box for every fucking little baby jab,
right?
He's got more of them.
And since when is defending a takedown an offensive point? Defending a takedown is not offensive. Mike Grundy's still going on the offense, still pushing the pressure. Octagon control, that used to be, I don't believe it is a judging criteria anymore, but it still is something to be said that you're the one pushing the pace. You're forcing him to defend. He's not forcing you to do anything.
Yeah.
So I really have a problem with that, and even now I can't listen to Cormier because he's still talking about that judge that gave it 30-27 for Grundy, and hats off to that judge because he was actually watching the fight.
He got it right, I think.
Yeah, agreed. So there's my soapbox right there. I'll just go ahead and step off that.
Yep.
Next fight up was Ronaldo Jacare Souza versus Andre Muniz, and time comes for us all.
Ooh.
He got his arm broken.
Yeah, how freaking tough though is Jacare Souza for hardly even reacting to the snapping of his fucking humerus. I've seen worse reactions from people who got their eye just brushed.
So I don't know if you know this about Jacare, but he broke his arm before in a fight, and he tucked it into his pants and kept fighting in a submissions only event. And I tweeted out last night. I said Jacare was ready to tuck that arm again.
He sure was.
If the ref didn't tuck it. If the ref didn't come in, he was tucking that thing.
Tie that sucker up.
Because you are right, he did not react.
He did not seem. I didn't even know that his arm was broken until I watched the replay, and you hear the tree limb snap.
Right.
You're like, what the fuck was that? Oh, Jesus Christ, that was his arm.
Some people.
Whereas Chris Weidman gets his leg snapped in half, and
you knew it.
Yeah.
Now, next fight was one of the better fights of the night, probably the best fight. Edson Barboza, Shane Burgos, and it was the weirdest knockout I've ever seen. It was delayed reaction. Shane Burgos was still fighting for like 2 seconds. Then all of a sudden his body was like, you've had enough.
Thank you. Yeah. Time warped into oblivion.
Hearing Edson Barboza talk about it was funny. He was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't never seen that. I don't know. It was scary because just it was the guy's brain shutting down. So it was a little bit scary.
Right.
I actually listened to who tweeted it? Chael Sonnen tweeted out a doctor breaking it down on Twitter, and it was pretty cool. Doctor was basically saying that the fluid in his brain got disrupted, causing an imbalance, electrolyte imbalance in his brain. And he said they hypothesized that it really does have to do with will to keep going over your body shutting down. And I believe it was Tony Ferguson who first said that you can't get knocked out if you don't want to get knocked out. I'm pretty sure it was Tony Ferguson who said that, and everyone called him crazy. And now the doctor was saying there is a little bit to that, but pretty crazy. Next fight,
that's wild.
Chukagi and Arujo.
Yeah. Quick,
you were what?
Go ahead.
Quick
side rant on Barboza. I was pretty blasted at this point and was so pumped up that Barboza got the TKO that I immediately put on the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean song for fucking Barboza.
Oh yeah, got
sending it around.
Next fight,
Oh,
Chukagian, Arujo. Boringish fight. Arujo, I actually thought she won. I thought this was bad judging.
Yeah.
Chukagian did come on there at the end. We knew that was going to happen. That's how Arujo fights. She's a 1-2 round explosion and then kind of fades off. There was some controversy with people thought Chukagian tapped. I rewatched it. I don't think she did.
Yeah, I saw it and it was pretty close, but it's like one of those bang bang things where when you slow it way down, it looks like she taps, but when you watch it in real time, it's like looks like she could be also like moving her arm around.
Right. And Chukagian defended herself saying, you have to have a submission for me to tap, and she was not in the right position to have a submission. So I kind of believe her. I didn't have much interest in that fight, if we're being honest.
No.
Next fight is Matt Danger Snell versus Rogerio Bonterine. Bonterine looked pretty good.
He did.
I don't know if it was Snell looking bad, because he did look bad. He even said it in between corners that he felt like Bonterine was putting him to sleep.
Yeah.
With inactivity. Meanwhile, Bonterine was the one landing shots. So, Bonterine, hats off to him. He couldn't make weight, which always sucks and takes away from a win. It really does.
Right.
They'll both fight in the UFC again.
Yeah.
Matt Schnell might be one to fade, honestly. Was not impressed at how he looked.
I agree.
Yep. And then we had Beneil Dariush, Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
And that was a dominant fight by
Mauling.
Dariush. Tony Ferguson is done.
Yeah.
Time comes for us all. And
time comes for us all.
And Tony, he looked not good.
He looked old.
How he didn't tap from that heel hook, I will never know. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was pretty vicious.
I mean, he was. You could see the pain in Tony Ferguson's face, and he's just eating it, not tapping.
Yeah.
But Neil Dariush afterwards saying, "This goes out to everyone affected by Marxism." I mean, that was fucking. That was. Mark is my dealism. That was fucking hilarious. Then calling out Elon Musk, "Where's my car?" He wasn't. I found out afterwards he wasn't asking for a free car. He actually ordered a Tesla, and they said it was gonna come in April.
It's just delayed.
It hasn't come.
Oh, that is a real thing that happens with Teslas. Sometimes they'll take fucking 6 months to get there.
So yeah, it sounded like he was asking for a free car. He was not. He just wants his car.
It's just asking for the car he paid for, fair and square.
Yeah. So that was pretty hilarious. The crowd booing Beneil Dariush pissed me off.
Yeah.
I get it. You like Tony Ferguson, but Beneil's fucking awesome.
Right. Texas crowd. What are you gonna do?
He deserves a top guy. If it wasn't so bogged down with the Dustin Poirier-Conor McGregor fight, I'd say give him the title shot. But one of them's going to get it, so maybe give him Justin Gaethje or somebody.
Give him the loser of that.
The loser of that, Justin Gaethje's there. There's a couple guys around. And then Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. I mean, Michael Chandler dominated round one. Dominated.
Yep.
Came out second round, got knocked out. He has no chin. I was a little worried about that because Pitbull knocked Michael Chandler out as well. Chandler says he'll have the belt in 12 months. I don't see that happening. I don't think he'll ever have the UFC belt.
Yeah.
He's a problem for people in round one unless you touch his chin.
Right.
So he's actually someone that Conor McGregor could probably knock out. He's a good matchup for Conor.
Yeah, I mean, well, saying that Conor McGregor could knock him out is like not a chirp at Michael Chandler because Conor McGregor's got a pretty vicious left hand.
Oh, exactly. He does.
Yeah.
But Conor is also not in my opinion,
not a very good technical fighter.
No, he's fringe top 5.
Right.
Like maybe.
Right.
He's another one. Gas is out. He's good for 2 rounds, and he can't wrestle. So
sells fights.
He sells.
That's about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Sells pay-per-views.
Besides UFC, we did okay betting golf this weekend.
Ricky came through for us big time.
Ricky came through. We were big on Willie Z. We had what did we have? 4 units, 3 or 4 units on him to top 40.
Yep.
We had him to win, which he didn't win, but the top 40 made up for that. And we bet on Siwoo as the top Asian player. He did not hit that.
No. And
ponies, you hit big.
I hit pretty big, and I almost wasn't going to go to Sports Haven because I was running around all day, and I had a 2:40 tee time, so it was looking a little close, but I sucked it up through the old TLX in sport mode and blasted my way down there, and got a couple of bets in on. I had Rombauer to win at 12-1. I think the closing post was. Closing line was 11-1, so that one hit was at 550, something like that, and then I had Midnight Bourbon to win at 5-1. That one obviously didn't hit; it came at second, and then a couple of trifectas played boxed with. I think 356, which hit pretty nicely. I think that was 9-ish hundred, and had a couple other ones that were like 3-6-10, 5-6-10, shit like that.
Nice.
But that was a fun race to watch.
It was
for sure, especially coming out on the right side of it.
Hell
and,
yeah.
And I tweeted those all out as soon as I put the bets in. So
right, I saw it up there on Twitter.
Verified.
Yeah, and we got a big guest this week.
Yep, Mr. Emax himself is coming on.
We have Justin.
I don't know his last name, but Mr. Justin Emax.
Yeah, coming on the pod to talk a little Emax.
Yeah,
it
should be fun. It should be fun.
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to come up with some questions for him tomorrow. If any listeners out there have any for Mr. Emax himself, just leave a comment below, and we'll get to as many as we can. I don't know how much time he's going to have to hang out with us, but we'll stay. We'll stay with him
those
as long
guys.
as he wants.
We were talking to him just a little bit via text, and those guys have been swamped.
Yeah.
Rightfully, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, they're blowing up. What are we at? I think we're up. I threw $1,000 into Emax yesterday as soon as I cashed my tickets. I was only going to throw a couple hundred, but I said, screw it. I'm up big. Let's go even higher. Yeah, and we're up already 50-ish% on that.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have 7 billion Emax.
Sitting at 7. Yeah, let's
talk Emax here.
Talk a little bit about what the current price is and how many I have. So I have 17,703,884,318 Emax. This my total number of Emax keeps going up.
Yep.
I have I think I have like a couple 100 million more than I bought because
that's because every time someone sells, it's that 2.5%.
Right, gets distributed to the buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to have them on.
Yeah, that should be cool.
Yep.
All right, you want to take a quick break and then go over the golf?
Break and come back to Kauai Island.